Hannah Murray. TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. Joining us on the line now is Natasha Hamilton, singer and actress known for being a member of the girl group Atomic Kitten. They had 3 UK number ones with Whole Again, Eternal Flame and The Tide is High. She is back with her solo EP Extraction. It's available for pre-save as it comes out in June and features the singles Numb and Fantasy. How are you, Natasha?
Oh, I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. It's lovely to chat with you. And congratulations. I know this isn't your first kind of foray into solo work, but it sort of feels a bit different this time.
Yeah, I've had lots of projects in the past that never really saw the light of day for one reason or another. But this time now I've got an actual body of work that will be released in June under my own independent record label. So yes, lots of change, but everything feels so aligned to the woman I am today. And it feels exciting, not just to release my own music, but to champion the next wave of pop artists as well.
Yeah, nice. So what does it mean to have your own independent record label, and why did you go down that route?
I mean, I feel responsibility because for me, duty of care is everything. Because of my own personal experiences within the industry, I wanted Morpho Records to be a label that champions the artist and puts them first. When we sign an artist, they are given a mentorship that is paid for by us. It's non-recoupable to them. So it's our way of giving before we take. A lot of the time within music, and especially pop, you're just the commodity and you're there to sell and make the big machine lots of money. But actually, I want to really champion a wave of artists who feel completely supported and in control of their destiny.
Yeah, nice. Really important. And I know I saw online when you were talking about Numb, which came out in January, Fantasy out already less than a couple of months later. And Numb, I know, again, was really personal, and the writing of it was a lot about your journey and a sort of turning point in your life. Yeah,
I ended up being in the recording studio. It was actually in Spain on the outskirts of Alicante. I'd been invited to a writing camp. I didn't even know anyone, but I just took the punt. I thought, you know what? I've not done this before. I'm going to do it. Flew out on my own, got picked up by someone I didn't know. But to be fully immersed in music and in an environment where I didn't have to worry about making the kids tea or picking them up from school or packing bags and after school sports, it was a version of myself that I got to discover. And what I realised is I was at a point in my career where I was blocking out a lot of feeling. There'd been a few events leading up to that writing camp that knocked my confidence. And yeah, instead of addressing it, I just blocked it out. So the minute we started writing and I was listening to what the producer was making, I thought, oh my God, this is numb. This is just giving me that feeling of numb. And then all my emotions come out. And yeah, I end up writing a song that I'm incredibly proud of.
Oh, nice. So I guess it must make a big difference to be much more involved in the creative process with the music. Is that a new thing then for you?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose back in the day, there was limits to what we could and couldn't do and how much people actually listened to us. But this time round, it's exciting. I mean, I was singing other people's songs for 25 plus years, and now I get to write and sing like my own life experience. And there's something really special about that when you go and perform it on stage. There's a whole level of connection with your music that I didn't really have before.
Yeah. It's coming from the heart. It's from you. The words and the feelings and the emotions are things that you're feeling. So that must make a huge difference when performing.
It does, and it can be quite a vulnerable moment at times. A couple of years ago, I released, I think it was just like my second track called You Don't Know Me. And I felt like that was such a really personal song. And I went to shoot the video to the song, and when I walked on and they were like, and action, and they start playing the words, and everyone in this room is a complete stranger to me, and they're listening to like my deepest, darkest feelings. And then you think, oh, I wonder what they think about this. And then you think, I'm going to go and put this out on streaming platforms so anyone across the world can hear this. And it's a different feeling. I wouldn't say it feels like pressure, but there's a rawness and a vulnerability that you need to have to be an artist.
Yeah. And do you struggle with that? I mean, are you kind of, I don't mean shy of the limelight, obviously, but, you know, being that vulnerable, maybe that you haven't been so much before singing other people's songs, does that scare you a little bit?
I don't think so. I've lived a very crazy life, and it would be weird for me not to be writing about my life experiences. If I was just writing songs for the sake of writing and going through the motions, to me, that just wouldn't align to the woman who I am today. And I am a very honest and open person. Whenever I do interviews or podcasts, whatever it is, I always lead with what my truth is, and I don't try and sugarcoat things. And now it's nice to be able to put that honesty into my music and not just the interviews.
Yeah, definitely. So when you look back over the years of Atomic Kitten, what are some of the highlight moments that stand out?
Wow. I mean, for me, the biggest one was probably the Queen's Golden Jubilee, which was at Buckingham Palace 2002. We were just surrounded by so many super famous artists and musicians, Paul McCartney, Ozzy Osbourne, Bryan Adams, Phil Collins. It was just a who's who of absolute music legends. And then Phil Collins was playing the drums for us when we sang one of our songs. And I did backing vocals for Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, which is just like, this is crazy. And then we're on the Mall singing Hey Jude with Paul McCartney that was like the last song of the concert. And there's 100,000 people in front of you singing it back. And that kind of energy and moment, you will never forget that. Yeah, it was very surreal. Oh, you're phoning your mum and she's going, have you been in the palace yet? And I'm like, yeah. The carpet wasn't as thick as I thought, just weird observations.
And can you remember the feeling when the first hit got to number one? Can you remember when you guys were like, we're at number one?
Yes, I was in a hotel in London in just past Maida Vale. I'd lived there for like 2 years on and off in between touring the world. And myself and Liz had an interconnecting room. So I got the phone call first saying that in our midweek we were number one and we were outselling U2 like 2-1 in sales. And I'm just like jumping around like an absolute lunatic. And then the scream comes from the next room and we both open our door and me and Liz just like jumped onto each other. We were like rolling around on the floor. And it was just a moment of, we couldn't believe it. We'd never thought in a million years Whole Again would be number one. We knew it would be successful and it had the potential to change the trajectory of our career. But number one, no, we weren't expecting that. So that just blew us away. Yeah. And I still get chills when I think about it now.
Oh, lovely. And there must be a difference between being in a band and touring with the other girls to making music on your own. I guess there's pros and cons of both.
Yeah. Obviously it's a little bit more lonely.
Yeah.
My team is a lot smaller these days, especially being an independent artist and an independent label. And it was strange at first going out there and not having the girls to, they are your confidence to a certain extent. But on the flip side, my destiny is now in my hands and I can do with it what I will, I suppose. So There's definitely excitement that comes with it.
And is there a kind of never say never vibe with the idea of you getting back together and singing again? Because I know that's happened a few times over the years.
Never say never. We're all in different parts of our lives. And I do believe that it is a lot harder for women to come back as a band as opposed to men, because obviously we have the children and a lot going on in our home lives. So it would have to work for everyone. And Liz has literally just had her first baby. He is absolutely beautiful. She's in a mummy bubble. You know, she went through a lot to get to have him. So I am not in any rush to pull her away from that. Jenny lives in Spain. She lives in Ibiza, and she's got a whole life doing different things over there. But never say never. We're still really close.
Oh, that's lovely. That's so special, isn't it, that you're all really close? Because, I mean, that doesn't always happen with groups.
No, and I think in the early days after we first split up, there was that little bit of we need time away. We've lived in each other's pockets for 5 years, and there's only so much you can tolerate before it's that pressure cooker feeling. So we all took a little step back and we all had our own space. But you know, I'd say the past 10 years, we've been incredibly close. Yeah.
And touring, you know, it's one of those, I think from the outside, it's easy to think touring must be so much fun and glamorous and exciting. But, you know, the amount of artists who say it's really stressful. Not only is it really hard work, you know, you don't get a lot of sleep and you're on a high, and then you need to recover and you've got to go back out there and you have to give it your best every single night. It must take its toll.
It definitely does. It's physically demanding, mentally demanding. And as you say, it's a different bed every night, or you're sleeping in tour buses. There's no routine. And I think, you know, we all crave that routine. And then you have these incredible highs of being on stage to thousands of people. And then your sleep's all over the place because you're not getting to sleep till early hours in the morning to come down off the high. And then you're up early. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. It is brilliant. It's so much fun. I feel as I've got older, whenever I'm touring, if I'm doing my own gigs and it's weekends, if I can get home after stage time, I will get in my car and drive home, because this is where I'm happiest. I don't need to be on the road and in a hotel in the middle of nowhere to have fun. Yeah. It used to be exciting when you were younger, but almost 30 years in, I'm like, I'll go home tonight.
Yeah, that's nice. That makes sense. And with regards to touring and being on stage and things, there must be nothing like the feeling of being on stage and having a crowd of people singing the lyrics back at you and screaming and being so excited to see you and doing the dances. And I mean, it must be incredible.
Oh, it's just such a privilege to have these songs that have stood the test of time. I go out and do heritage shows. So it's, you know, everyone's singing songs that are 20 plus years old. And it's a joy to watch, because you've got parents with their kids, and their kids are obviously listening to mum or dad's music, you know, and they sing it as well. And I'm thinking, gosh, you're really quite young to know the words to this. But it's nice to see.
Yeah. And I'm going to play Fantasy, which is your newest song. Just tell us a bit about that.
Fantasy was a song penned really it's like a love song to yourself, to find your way back to you. I think there's times in life where you can get lost or be taken off the path that you want to be on. So, yeah, it's about coming back to yourself.
Nice. And any kind of future plans? I know this EP is coming out, when did I say? June, isn't it? People can pre-order it.
June 19th.
Fantastic.
It's available to pre-order now. I'm building Morpho Records. We've signed our first artist. He will be releasing very soon. We're looking to extend our roster. And, yeah, just busy. Lots of gigs through the summer as well.
Oh, nice. Exciting stuff. Well, as we mentioned, the EP is called Extraction, and it's available for pre-save on our website, actually. People can go to tre.radio to the TRE Jukebox and get it from there. And one of the songs is Fantasy, which we're going to play now. Natasha Hamilton, thank you so much for joining us. Lovely to chat with you.
Thanks for having me. Bye.